You're about to hear global innovator Hakeem Ali-Bocas Alexander, managing director and part-time entertainer at Uniquilibrium.
The way you want to live your life.
I don't think I like... If you don't immediately hear that voice was AI, then I don't like what's going on with your brain. I mean, not necessarily. I'm partially joking. Some people don't have the actual capacity to discriminate between human and robot voices. All right, so what I've got here is the course. It's called How to Create an Online Course. And these are the beginning stage. I'm going to read through. Here's the notes that I've put together so far. The title I have, this is a private document. It's not public yet. The text, I mean, what you're going to hear, of course, is public. This is, it says comprehensive online course development and marketing. Type of product, online course creation. Price, $3,000. Delivery time, 90 days. Name of product, how to create an online course. General topic of product, comprehensive online course development and marketing. And this is the first thing that needs to be laser focused. It needs to be filtered down more specifically. But it's the section here that I have. It's top 3 ideal customer avatars. 1, aspiring educators and experts. Professionals who have expertise in a particular field and wish to expand their reach and authority by sharing their knowledge through online courses. 2, entrepreneurs and business owners. Individuals looking to diversify their revenue streams by creating educational products or enhancing their brand's offerings with value-added learning experiences. Thank you. And 3, corporate trainers and HR professionals. Those responsible for employee development who are interested in leveraging online platforms to enhance training programs and improve organizational learning outcomes. So out of those 3 categories, I either may filter them down and get very specific on one specific ideal customer, or also known as ideal avatar, target market, some say, specific demographic. All those things apply to that. And that's actually one of the most important parts in this is how to create an online course. It's an online course on how to create an online course. It's very meta. Okay. Moving on. And this comes from a program from the Fletcher method. Aaron Fletcher. His wording here, this is taken directly from his course building program. And it says, my ideal client, I will accept. And I'm going to change this. The ideal client. I'm going to leave it just like that. My ideal client, I will accept. 1, is willing to invest in themselves. Very important. 2, is actively seeking support now. And 3, will commit themselves to achieving this outcome right now. And this is very close also to what Sunny Lenarduzzi says. And you can find her videos online. She's been helping to build online courses for various types of business owners for over a decade now, according to her YouTube channel. Okay, so the suitable currencies that customers may gain or increase, meaning there's something called core currencies, and these basically the benefits that they want, the transformation that they will the transformation that they will receive, what they will transform into. Again, from what Sonny Lenarduzzi says, is taking them from zero to hero, right? So I work with, for example, I'll just pick one of these, right? I work with entrepreneurs to take them from being, take them from trading time for money to exchanging value for profit, so that they can have more time freedom, travel, and have financial independence, right? So that would be the zero to hero, roughly, of what Sonny Lenarduzzi says. Check out our YouTube channel. Okay, suitable currencies. These are core currencies, right? Number one, income. By creating and selling online courses, customers can generate additional revenue streams. Expertise. I have a list of 10 things here. Expertise. Participants can enhance their knowledge and skills in course creation and marketing, establishing themselves as authorities in their field. 3. Brand visibility. Customers can boost their Customers can boost their personal or business brand recognition by offering valuable educational content. And this is a peek. This is behind the scenes before this course is launched. And I haven't even gotten into the course yet. These are all my notes that I have to work with before the course is launched. So 4.
I like feeling crazy.
Impact. They can positively influence and educate others, making a difference in their community or industry. 5. Customer loyalty. By providing valuable courses, participants can build stronger relationships with their audience, leading to repeat business and referrals. Remember, these are all my notes, because in one way I had to look at this and see how and do research. How will creating and offering an online course actually benefit my customers? So this is a list of all these things. So that's me dropping my coffee mug. Thankfully it has a nice lid on it. I didn't spill anything. Okay, so did I say 5 already, right? By promoting valuable courses? Yes, I did. 6, revenue generation. Aspiring educate. Okay, so now this is the second 5, where it goes from being general for those 3 demographics, the ideal customer avatars above, the aspiring educators and experts, entrepreneurs and business owners, corporate trainers and professionals. So 1 through 5 that I just read was more general, and 6 through 10 I wrote to be more specific. So 6, revenue generation. Aspiring educators and entrepreneurs can create new income streams through course sales. All right, is this starting to sound good to people? Are you an aspiring educator or an entrepreneur? All right, this is who these courses are for. This is why I'm putting it together. This is the essence here. This is what's going into it. I'm getting hyped up looking at it, right? Okay, number 7, professional credibility. Business owners and educators enhance their authority and credibility in their respective fields by sharing expertise. And you see how it's just worded slightly differently? It's still talking about the same demographics. If you look at or recall right now, because you're not looking at it, you won't have this document yet. I don't think I'll ever put out, this part of it doesn't need to be published. This is just like all of my notes, right? But it's being published audibly right now. So the first 2 categories I have for the top 3 ideal customer avatars are aspiring educators and experts, and entrepreneurs and business owners. And so for 6 and 7, it really named both of those. This changes up a little bit here, where we have Number 8, enhanced learning outcomes. So number 8 is enhanced learning outcomes. And that says corporate trainers can improve employee performance and engagement through effective course content. Corporate trainers can improve employee performance and engagement through effective course content. Number 9, networking opportunities. All avatars can build connections and collaborations with others in the education and business sectors. All of them can build connections and collaborations with others in the educational and business sectors. So even if they are corporate trainers and HR professionals, they're still linked to business sectors, right? They can build collaborations and connections with others in the education and business sectors through the courses. And number 10, scalability. Entrepreneurs and trainers can grow their business more easily by reaching a wider audience with online courses. This idea of scalability is very interesting because it wasn't something that I thought about before. When you think about growing something bigger and bigger, scalability and certain things becomes an issue especially if you're starting out and you grow big really quickly. But this is why you see things like restaurants, like fast food chains have thousands and tens of thousands of employees, because that's what you need in order to scale up. It would be impossible to scale up if you didn't hire all those people. And so the more hiring you have to do, the more money goes out in order to run that business. And that's what scaling is that as you grow, then you're bringing in more revenue, oftentimes just hand in hand with that, especially in something like the food service industry, right? Then the output has to go up to match that. I mean, and it's not a one-to-one relationship, right? But everything has to remain in equilibrium. So the correct word for that I'm looking for actually is proportional. Everything has to move in proportion with. So if you want to make a greater income, your proportion of output for those resources have to go up. So, for example, if one restaurant has 5 employees working at a time and they're putting out a certain output, whatever that number N is, right? And if they want to scale up their revenue to get 2N, right, then they have to get 10 employees because they had 5 before. So 2N to increase 2N would be, you could put the number of employees is 5, 2 times 5, 10, right? So it has to be proportional in that kind of business. Not always, but that's more the case there in that kind of scalability. I don't want to go too much into that. That's not my wheelhouse just yet, but I'm sure that I'll build up my expertise in that as I continue to study. But let's move on. My other notes I have here, continuing. Okay, so using my course, Comprehensive Online Course Development and Marketing, customers can expect to decrease or reduce the following problems. And actually, that's not going to be the full name of the course. I'm simply just going to call it How to Create an Online Course. But in my notes, I have it here as using my course, Comprehensive Online Course Development and Marketing. Maybe I keep that title there with me because a lot of times when I'm reading stuff, I like to remember the whole idea of what I'm doing, and that's really what it is. It's Comprehensive Online Course Development and Marketing. Okay, so using my course, Comprehensive Online Course Development and Marketing, customers can expect to decrease or reduce the following problems. 1, overwhelm in course creation. Participants will learn structured methods to streamline the course development process, reducing feelings of confusion and frustration. 2, ineffective marketing strategies. Customers will gain insights into proven marketing techniques that minimize wasted effort and focus their resources more effectively. 3, lack of student engagement. The course will provide strategies to create compelling content, helping customers reduce dropout rates and improve overall student satisfaction. These are also things too. I mean, watching videos, binge watching videos from Sonny Lenarduzzi and others online has really influenced me. I can tell just in the wording as I'm looking at this. This is one of the big things she talks about this thing she has called POP, right? The POP, which is basically a way of putting out your course before it's fully built to test it and get customer feedback so that you can then tweak it and put it back out there. And that's actually a part of this program as well. All right, so continuing. So 4, uncertainty in pricing and sales. Your course... Hold on. Hold on. My course. Talking. This is not for the students, it's for me. Uncertainty in pricing and sales. Okay, my course will guide users in setting appropriate pricing strategies, lessening their anxiety about undervaluing their courses or missing potential profits. Another, man, Sonny, you're getting a lot of shout outs here. I wonder if you'll ever hear this. But this is another thing about that she talks about often is undervaluing their courses. That's a big thing. All right. 5, limited audience reach. Participants will learn how to effectively utilize digital marketing techniques to expand their audience base, reducing the problem of attracting new students. All right. And that was again under what I had written using my course. Customers can expect to decrease or reduce the following problems. So just to go through that real quick, they'll decrease or reduce the following problems: overwhelm in course creation, ineffective marketing strategies, lack of student engagement, uncertainty in pricing and sales, and limited audience reach. So they'll reduce those things. Okay, so the best way, again, these are all notes because I keep this here so to guide me so I know what my parameters are. I often have to remind myself so I can keep focused so I'm not distracted by other things of what I'm doing. I'm on focus, I'm on point, I'm doing this stuff, but often I look at these notes to what am I doing here? Why am I creating this? And to keep myself on task. The best way to state the core currency for my campaign would be, and I have a couple different things like that, right? So to maximize your revenue potential through effective course development and marketing. And again, these things pertain to me too, because this is a course that I've developed, right? Maximize your revenue potential through effective course development and marketing. This emphasizes the primary financial benefit that customers will gain from my course while aligning with their goals. Next, the best way to state the desired outcome of my product could be empower you to create and launch a profitable online course that engages learners and elevates your authority. This clearly communicates the end goal of developing a successful course while highlighting engagement and authority. And next, the best way to state my customer's ultimate outcome could be the ultimate outcome, not to be mistaken with the core currency, right? The ultimate outcome, even though they're very close, right? The best way to state my customer's ultimate outcome could be achieve sustainable income and establish yourself as a leading expert in your field through successful online course creation. This encapsulates both financial success and personal branding. So, as you can hear, right, the core currency and the desired outcome together create the ultimate outcome, right? See, the core currency is maximize revenue potential. The desired outcome is elevate your authority and engage learners and elevate authority. And the ultimate outcome is achieve sustainable income and establish yourself as a leading expert in your field. Okay, moving on. So, the top 3 struggles that may prevent my clients from achieving results on their own are: 1, knowledge gaps. Knowledge gaps can do that. 2, time management. Time management can be a problem. There's a struggle. And 3, marketing challenges. Marketing challenges. Starting to think that because of all the issues that I have with using certain tools like AI, and I attempted to use 11 Labs, which I've heard from a few marketers. I heard about it first from Billy Jean. Everybody knows him as Billy Jean is marketing. That's how he's branded himself. People introduce him like that, and it's even difficult to even think about his name without saying Billy Jean is marketing. First heard about him, and he used that. Maybe it's because I haven't. It just jammed up a little bit earlier, but I'm having all kinds of issues. Also, with some other software I got, just so much stuff is just getting in the way that I feel like if there is fate, destiny, universe, whatever metaphysical things are happening, that it's just saying, Hakeem, just stick with audio. Just stick with audio. That's your thing. Master this. Keep doing the audio. You've been doing it for a long time. It's what you're most comfortable with. Just stick with it, because everything is it's not good. Audio, that, and interestingly enough, even though I don't use it that way as much, is podcast and YouTube are the simplest things for me to use. And now that I have really been convinced through my research and doing this binge watching on YouTube of these different professionals, there's a really great copywriter who has a YouTube channel. Her company is Copy Posse, and that's Alex Catoni. And then, as I mentioned before, Sunny D. Lenarduzzi, who creates courses and helps her clients create courses for improving their business in various aspects. And so there's all of that stuff. It's been a big influence on me. I mean, as I said before, of course, Billy Jean is marketing. I've been hearing about him for a long time. And he's been in the game for a bit too. So, all right. So that's, let's see, what do I have there? So the 3 struggles that may prevent clients from achieving their results on their own: knowledge gaps, time management, marketing challenges. All right, core currency. All right, and finally here, the core currency for this, because this is mine, right? The core currency for this campaign is to maximize revenue. That's the core currency that I'm focusing on for the customers, right? My product will help my customers elevate their authority, and my customers' ultimate outcome will be sustainable income. So it's those things that I mentioned earlier, but just a little bit more succinctly, and that's the core currency. So those things that I'd mentioned before, and actually I think I'm gonna move. I think I should switch those around the order that's in. Yeah, that should actually be before. Yeah, let me move that. So that last sentence I read, and this title I have here under core currency needs to be moved up. I don't know why it's all the way. It's below these those expanded descriptors. All right, so that should be there. Yeah, let me move this up. Okay, so yeah, that's where this belongs. So it actually should have gotten to the point, it said core currency, and then it should have been the summary. The core currency for this campaign is to maximize revenue. My product will help customers elevate their authority. My customers' ultimate outcome will be sustained income. And then the best way to state those 3 things. All right. And then finally ending off with the knowledge gaps, time management, and marketing challenges. Those just have to be struggles that may prevent them from achieving results on their own. Okay. Good. And then it gets into the course. I have the title here, How to Create an Online Course. And I'm keeping it simple. You know, something I learned, here's an interesting thing that people may have seen and may not notice. If you don't think about business, if you're not building a business, or maybe it just hasn't occurred to you, you know, you might be a person who's just thinking about it. That's what brought you here to listen to this. You may be a person that it has been building businesses and failed like I have before, and maybe hadn't thought about this, but the simplest things, because especially for search engine, although this is a heavily competitive little small group of short tail, that this is very, very competitive. This simple how to create an online course, that's flooded, but there are reasons that I'm using it right now for that. I'm just keeping it simple because it's this is my testing phase. All right, so how to create an online course. Then I started off with, okay, so now this is the part that will be published for people to see in the course, right? And I'm going to go through, let's see what I have here. I'm going to go through, well, let's see, what time do I have here? 26 minutes. I'll just go through, well, I don't want to be too long. We'll see. I'll intuit partly my way through it, but then also looking at the time here, I don't want to go past 35 minutes really. No longer than an hour for sure, but I definitely don't want to get anywhere close to that right now. All right, so here we go. How to create an online course. Transform your expertise into a thriving online course with How to Create an Online Course, a specialized program designed for aspiring educators, entrepreneurs, and corporate trainers. In just 90 days, you'll elevate your authority and overcome common obstacles like knowledge gaps, time management issues, and marketing challenges. Unlock the potential for sustained income and make a lasting impact in your field. All right. So, then it goes, I have phase 1, foundation of course creation. I like the way that rolls. Foundation of course creation. All right, step 1, identify your niche. And people have heard this before, but man, has it been driven into my mind really, really clearly. I know, again, Sunny Lenarduzzi, she talks about this all the time, and she makes a distinction that even though that her free content is telling you what, and it's also very useful, it doesn't really get into the nitty-gritty of the how, like, for example, how this course that I have here will, but that's a huge thing. Identify your niche. That's why I talked about earlier when I first started reading those categories, the ideal customer avatar, how I said I need to really whittle those down, filter it out. It's only going to be one of those groups, and then out of that one group, it's going to be really, really specified. Really, really specific. Okay, so identify your niche. Message. By clarifying your niche, you can engage. Oh, and this is what in the Fletcher method is called. Hold on. Why am I forgetting? See, I just got this program the other day, and it's like, okay, it's GrowthWorks is the name of the software that I purchased. Gosh, I don't know why I wasn't remembering that. GrowthWorks. But yeah, in GrowthWorks, this is what, when there was a question for me to fill in a field, this is the what he calls the $1 million message that goes at the end of creating the course that he talks about in there. But this is how I formulated my $1 million message. They have an AI that generates the message there based on all the other stuff that you put in, but it was really clunky. Nothing against that software. Maybe it's just the way it is. I didn't hit a bunch of refresher into it. I just went ahead and used my own tools and use my own brain, and this is my $1 million message to start off the course for identify your niche. So by clarifying your niche, you can engage at least 500 potential customers who truly resonate with your passion. So one of the things he indicates is that it should be composed of, and I followed this formula, of something that's measurable, that they will gain, or a benefit, right? That's measurable. That's why I put in 500 after doing some research, right? And then also at the same time, it should also state what pain they'll avoid. So I actually used the word pain. All right, so by clarifying your niche, you can engage at least 500 potential customers who truly resonate with your passion, right? Measurable benefit. You can engage at least 500, and then avoid the pain of being lost in a crowded market where no one recognizes your unique offerings. And this is something I know a whole lot about. I mean, I am an intense creator, specifically of audio. I love reading. I don't put out the stuff I'm putting out there is not stupid, right? I read neuroscience articles and scientific research papers and things. I'm a nerd like that. I really enjoy that stuff, and I feel like the things that I read sometimes are very beneficial for people to know, but a lot of times crickets. And I'm not talking about, there's something interesting about vanity metrics and other metrics that I've heard a couple people now talk about. I was looking at this one podcast, The Future. This guy Chris runs it. I forget I don't know what his last name is. He's an Asian guy, but he talked about another one of his associates said something about that was similar to what Sonny Lenarduzzi and also Alex Catani says, which is, a lot of people, like one of the examples that Sonny gives is, and I'm not on first name basis, I'm just using it for brevity, and I just like the name Sonny, but she says that there's a difference in these vanity metrics sometimes, because you can make millions of dollars of years with a couple of hundred of clients, whereas there are YouTubers who have, let's say, 30 million followers, right, or 3 million followers, but they're only making $30,000 off of that. It's like a penny per follower, right? Whereas some people have 3,000 followers and are making $3 million, right? So it's an exponential, or they have 30,000 and they're making 3 million. So whatever the numbers are, it's something like that, but it's a difference between having a lot of followers engagement or the right kind of followers engagement. And that's where this niching down comes from, where you have to identify your niche. And there's reasons why to identify the niche, right? Again, message by clarifying your niche, you can engage at least 500 potential customers who truly resonate with your passion. Avoid the pain of being in a crowded market where no one recognizes your offerings. So now I have some bullet points for the detailed outline here, and I'll go through those. And actually, I'll go through really quickly. And then I have this thing called an action microscope that I've named it, where it actually goes into more details, but I think I'm going to stop before that, because as Sonny says, even though this is going to be very helpful and useful information, I want to give you mostly the what and save the how and the details of how to actually get it done for when the course is launched. Okay, so number one. Okay, so here's a detailed outline in bullet points. Okay, so you'll learn how to research and select a profitable niche. And it's the first thing that I've got to do, right? Researching and selecting the profitable niche. I already did the research, but I haven't selected yet, which would be for me, because that depends on a few different things, right? Next, understanding your target audience's needs and pain points. That's part of it, right? Analyzing market demand and competition. Defining your unique value proposition. Creating a buyer persona for targeted marketing. That's, again, the ideal avatar, right? I love the terminology. It's really cool. When you really get into it and you start to learn, there's a lot of aha moments that come on. That's why they say ideal avatar. It's actually, literally, specifically, as if you're imagining a specific type of person that you're specifically selling to, your niche. Which reminds me, there's a book called Becoming the Compassion Buddha, and these things are actually really similar concepts. I'm going to have to look in more deeply into that, actually, now I'm thinking about it. All right, so Okay, so crafting a buyer persona for targeted marketing. The core currency here for this first identify the niche is expertise. The general topic is market research, and the result that you will learn from this step 1 in the course, there's 9 steps, is a clear understanding of your niche and target audience, allowing for focused content creation. That's so important right there. A clear understanding of your niche and target audience, allowing for focused content creation. All right. The struggles. 1, you may have difficulty in conducting effective market research. I know that I do sometimes, and most of it is just because it's very tedious sometimes. Difficulty in conducting effective, but I've recently, just by doing and getting into action, have found it to be simpler, and I've been able to streamline my efforts by doing so. You can actually hear me kind of going through a struggle like this when I was developing a generative AI course using generative AI, GPT-4o. It's on HakeemAlexander.com. There are about 11 different podcasts where I was live creating a fundamentals of generative AI course using a generative AI tool. And I had an aha moment after I did. I think it was after lesson 1.1 or 1.2, and then I just really hit a stride. And then even towards the end, I had a little bit of a bump, but then I got through it, and it just became more efficient. And even to just a lot of things, just when you're actually doing something, it's amazing. It still amazes me. I'm used to it, but it still amazes me at how just when you're doing something, you just get better at doing it while you're in the middle of it. Like playing a sport, there's certain things you recognize on the field. I mean, it's fantastic. In the ring, you're fighting, you're battling it out, and you learn things about the opponent, and it's really exciting. It's really exciting. Okay, so a clear understanding of your target niche and target audience, allowing for focused content creation. Struggles, difficulty in conducting effective market research. Again, like I said, that was me, and it sometimes still a struggle. Most of it has to do with just how tedious it can be sometimes, but when you get more efficient and you just kind of learn to get into certain repetitive patterns that are kind of second nature by doing it, and even though some of it is just pointing and clicking, you get used to, especially if there's a standard screen or something that you're working with, or a standard template or tool that you're working with, you get used to where to click and move and point and click around there, and it becomes sort of a routine. And some things you want to put on that routine because it saves energy and time and thinking and brain power, and some of them you need to be right there in the moment all the time. All right, so it goes. Many may struggle with knowing where to find reliable data or how to interpret market trends in competition analysis. Okay, this falls into the category of struggles. Right? I want to make sure everything was as clear as possible, and I'm glad for the GrowthWorks software that really helped to put a lot of this into perspective. Like I said, this is the culmination of just learning from so many different people. That's just how it is. None of this is my own. It's me, an amalgamation of what I've learned from many people who are just really crushing it in their field. Okay, so the second struggle they may have here is uncertainty about defining unique value propositions. Users may find it challenging to articulate what differentiates them from competitors and how to effectively communicate their value. Now, that's a big one for me, especially when I look at someone like Sunny Lenarduzzi, and I'm just giving her shout out after shout out after shout out because this is what she does. And I kept on thinking about it, and it was really bugging me because I do so many things. And I have so many things that I like and that I'm good at, and I have to also realize that this is not for me. It is for me in a way where I want to build a business. I want to do something. I have that goal of time freedom, financial independence, travel, right? but it has to be done. I've always, long time, known that it has to be in a way that actually is providing value to other people. I used to say put it in a different way, the word serve, but really now it's collaborate, right? It's really about collaboration. Okay, so uncertainty about defining unique value propositions. And that's all a part, when you define the unique value proposition, that's all a part of the niche, right? I help blank to go from zero to hero so that they can experience blank, right? And I'm using the zero to hero, but they can go from zero to hero, and that's Sonny Lenarduzzi's formula. And I'm not saying that it's hers originally, but that's where I heard it from, and it just really makes sense. It's also very catchy and easy to remember for me. And number 3, identifying and understanding their target audience. Again, this is a struggle. They struggle to identify and understand their target. Some may have trouble developing a clear and detailed buyer persona, making it hard to grasp their audience's needs and preferences accurately. Again, these are my problems. A long time ago, I also heard to scratch your own itch and then bundle it up. Once you scratch it, bundle it up and market it to other people. Once you've gotten through something, right, package it up and help other people, because there's definitely other people who are dealing with it. Okay? So, and questions that they'll have: how do I find a niche that is both profitable and aligns with my interests? Again, me, right? Number 2, what tools or resources can help me analyze competition in my chosen niche? And how can I ensure my value proposition stands out in a crowded market? Number 2, that was really a thing, right? It's like, what do you use to analyze competition? Like, what tools, right? And number 3, how can I ensure my value proposition stands out in a crowded market? Again, somebody like Sonny and some of these other people out there, they make me feel like the market's crowded because they're just dominating. But how can I ensure mine stands out? And you know what? That is, again, the niche. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense. Excuse me a second. All right. So, okay. Now the actions. Conduct market research. So these are successful actions, things that you'll do that will get it done. Conduct market research. Use surveys, interviews, and competitor analysis to identify gaps and opportunities in your area of interest. And number 2, define your target audience. Create detailed personas that outline the demographics, needs, and pain points of your ideal learners. And 3, test your niche idea. Run a pilot survey or offer free mini workshops to gauge interest and gather feedback on your proposed course topic. That is also very Sunny right there. Okay? And my action microscope, it goes into more details of all of those things there, but the time is up. Like I said, I don't want to go too long, and we're now at 43 minutes, almost 44 minutes. So that's it. This was just a peek behind the curtain, behind the scenes of the creation of the comprehensive online course development and marketing. Comprehensive online course development and marketing. And yeah, that's me.
You're about to hear global innovator Hakeem Ali-Bocas Alexander, managing director and part-time entertainer at Uniquilibrium.
That's fun. All right, later.